What? X Harper here, WWE2k19 Universe Mode! We're ready. This is my first Raw booking mode, so I hope you enjoy it. I've got some matches set up. I'm going to explain to you why they're set up this way, what I'm planning to do, what rivalries are taking place, what's going on and what's going down. So, first match of the night is Goldust versus Dolph Ziggler. Basically, this is a transitional rivalry for me in my mode. Just in the meantime, while I build another rivalry that's sort of cooking away, I'm going to be adding some extra guys to this rivalry at some point. But for now, it is Goldust and Dolph Ziggler, and they'll be fighting each other, as you can see, in just a normal one-on-one match at the beginning. The game generated that rivalry match, so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. You're going to have to watch that later to find out exactly what happens in that match. Second match of the night, kicking things off with yet another rivalry in my game. It's my created superstar Ghost, who is going to be fighting against D'Lo Brown for the European Championship. These two are having a battle off at the moment. It seems like every week they're fighting in some sort of different match type. I guess just to one up the other or try and win the title. But Ghost at the moment has been dominating, so that feud continues in the second match of the night. Third up is my Hardcore Championship match. So, fresh off the press, my Al Snow creation that I made a couple of days ago, he now goes straight into Universe Mode for a title shot tonight. So that's 2 title matches in a row so far. And Al Snow will be challenging the Big Show in a one-on-one Falls Count Anywhere match. As I keep saying, before we go any further, I release the results at the bottom in the description of this video, so if you want the spoilers, have a look in the description. You'll be able to see everybody who wins each match without watching the longer version that I usually post live, either the same day or the day after. This morning I did my ECW event, so if you want to watch that, go ahead and watch it. It's a fun event, in my opinion, up until the game ruins the main event, which I wasn't expecting to happen. It also did this funny freeze. You might notice it, you may not, but during the AJ Styles Brock Lesnar match, it freezes on the person who's pinning, and I actually wanted to kick out and keep the match going, but the game decided otherwise, froze it and locked him in the pin, so I had to go with the winner of that match that the game decided to book instead of letting me choose. But I'll forgive it because it's a minor mistake that doesn't happen very often in the game this year. So, next up, midway through the night, first tag team action of the evening. Now, I wish I could have hidden this, but I couldn't. There's no way of hiding it. It's in the middle of the card. And also I can't, this is a live video. I can't just go back, edit the video and black out the person that I'm going to use as a tag partner. But the rivalry here is between the Ultimate Warrior and Ken Shamrock for the United States title, which Ken Shamrock currently holds. The point is that the Warrior beat Bob Orton last week for the #1 contender spot, and Shamrock is beginning a feud with the Warrior. Shamrock is part of the corporation on my mode, so Shamrock has challenged the Warrior to a tag team match, and he's picked the Big Show as his partner, but the Ultimate Warrior is going to pick a surprise partner that will be announced during the match at the very beginning. So the surprise is ruined by WE because I can't black this out for you, but the surprise partner is none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin. We know that the Rattlesnake hates Vince McMahon and the corporation, so this is the perfect choice for him to team up against the corporation. So that is that tag match. We'll find out who wins that later. Then we go into a backstage brawl match between Jake Roberts, who is my WWE champion. Yes. Basically, at the beginning of every Universe Mode, every year that Jake has been on the game, so for the last 3 years now, Jake has been my champion. At the beginning, I always let him have the first run because it's something that I think he deserved when he was part of WE. I don't understand why he was never given a title run at all. It doesn't make sense. He would have been a great heel. With his psychology, I think he would have really done well partnering against somebody like a Hulk Hogan, for example. But he did such a great job with Randy Savage. We all know that. Perhaps Randy Savage would have been a great rivalry when Savage was the champion, but they obviously wanted to put the belt back on Hogan at that point, so it never really happened. But I would have loved to have seen Jake Roberts as the champ. So he's the champion. Randy Orton wants to be the champion. So the idea, hopefully, as long as the game doesn't change the beginning of the match, Randy Orton, the idea is that he will attack Jake Roberts backstage in a cowardly act, just to prove that he's better and try and get a little one-up on Jake before their main event, their pay-per-view match that is coming at King of the Ring. So next match, the semi-main event of the evening, is a tag team titles match for the You Didn't Know? Your West better call somebody! The New Age Outlaws, the tag team champions, versus the Hardy Boyz. So this match is kind of a one out of the blue match. Like, the Hardys have just challenged for it. I think they are the number one contenders on my game at the moment, but this is going to start a feud with these two teams, and that's going to go on for as long as need be. So this is the title match. It's a 2-on-2 straight up tag team match. We'll find out if DX can hold on to their title or if the Hardy Boyz will win it later. Finally, main event of the evening. This is a rivalry that I believe is arguably the biggest rivalry, certainly in the modern era, but arguably of all time, that never happened. Now, not trying to cause a stir here, not trying to create any rumours, or maybe I am, but with Shawn Michaels coming back to the WWE and fighting at Crown Jewel, I know that he wants to stay retired, but wouldn't it be amazing if at WrestleMania we had Shawn Michaels versus The Rock, a feud that never happened, which always should have happened. I think The Rock would be brilliant if he came back, came out when DX was in. I would love it, actually. I know they would never do this, but there would be nothing better to me than The Rock coming back to be a heel, really going into the part-time character and just really doing what he always does. He was a heel when he went to Hollywood the first time. I would love to see him bring that character back a little bit and have this bitterness towards the fans, to come back as a part-timer and basically just interrupt DX. Just say, I'm fed up of you guys. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to fight. Let's do it. You know, The Rock can maybe talk about Shawn Michaels and how they've never had a feud before. I think it could get really tasty with some comments, because if The Rock leaned on reality, he could obviously just talk about how he felt that Shawn and Triple H were like pushing him down during their runs in the business and how they didn't want to work with The Rock. Obviously Triple H did, but they always said they didn't hang out with each other. They didn't hate each other, but they didn't hang out with each other either. I'd love to see them just play off of that rivalry. I'd love to see that in real life. But with that said, I get the chance to make sure this happens in my universe mode. So this is actually a rivalry for the WWE title. So that is not my championship belt, okay? Jake Roberts is the champion, but I have like this face of the company kind of belt that I just simply call the WE title. I have it for WCW, I have one for ECW, and it basically sits somewhere between the Intercontinental belt and the World Heavyweight Championship, whichever belt that is, or whichever holder that happens to be. So for this one, it's a great placeholder, by the way, to do that kind of story mode. If you're thinking of it for your own universe mode, it's a great way to just placehold champions who, you know, like The Rock at the moment, he's not going for the Intercontinental or the title itself. Same with the Heartbreak Kid. They would kind of get lost otherwise. So giving them this belt gives me a chance to actually bring people back into the picture and to establish some rivalries and good storytelling. So they're going to main event the evening in a one-on-one match. The game has created it, so I do not know what's going to happen in that match to start it off or end it. But I know that it's a rivalry match, and that is all that matters. So, like I said, give me about half an hour to an hour after this video, and you're going to see all the spoilers up, and you will know exactly who's going to win. If you don't want to know, simply do not go into the description of the video, and then you can just watch the match later as I go live. Hopefully I'm going to go live straight after this, as long as there are no interruptions. So if that happens, you're going to be able to see the video pretty quickly. You might even be able to catch it live if you're just watching this now. But that is the end of my Raw show. I am X Harper, and you have been awesome. Until the next video, whoop whoop!